Dis you, hun? It's stupid o'clock in the morning, you've just finished editing an episode, and instead of feeling good about it, you're laying there staring at the ceiling with one horrible little thought doing laps of your brain. Do I have to do this forever? And there it goes. The excitement curdles. The thing you were buzzing about an hour ago suddenly feels like a life sentence handed down by a judge you'll never ever meet. And there's a thing that nobody flogging you a podcast course will ever admit to. And that is that feeling right there at stupid o'clock in the morning isn't a flaw in your brain, it's a feature which they installed. And I'm going to delete it. This is Podmastery Podcasting Insights, the podcast for people who've actually had a bit of a go at this and are a bit sick of being told they're doing it wrong by people who've never properly done it at all. I'm Neil Velio, the Podmaster, and today the biggest lie in podcasting, the one that's got you convinced that starting a podcast means signing your life away in blood. We're going to take that apart, and you're going to walk out of here about a stone lighter and a good deal less obedient, hopefully. Let's do that naff quote of every LinkedIn influencer relying on AI for their genius these days. Let me say the quiet bit out loud. Because you won't. It's that do I have to do this forever feeling. You're not being weak or commitment avoidant or whatever that same LinkedIn hustle goblin told you between posts about their morning routine. Nearly everyone gets it. I get it, and I've been at this 25 years. But here's where it comes from. And this is the bit that should truly wind you up. Somewhere along the way, an entire industry of podcast gurus decided that the holy commandment of podcasting is surface level consistency. That means show up every week, never miss an episode, publish on the same day, at the same time, for all eternity, until you keel over at the microphone like a good little content machine. Miss one, and you've broken trust. Miss two, and you're not serious about your brand. It gets drummed into you from day one, usually by someone whose entire business model is selling you the cure for the anxiety they've just given you. Funny that. And I watch this doing real damage in my day job. Someone will rock up, buzzing about doing a podcast, they're full of the enthusiasm and good intentions, and then 3 conversations later, the light's gone out of them, and they mumble, maybe I'll just do a season, see how it goes. Forget that. That's never strategy. That is fear buying an RSS feed. What they actually mean is, please can I have permission to not ever do this forever? They're begging for parole before they've even committed the crime. So let me get one thing dead straight with you here. The podcast has never been the trap. Say that back to me right now. The podcast is not the thing with the bars across it. The trap is a belief that got welded into your head by people who profit from your guilt. That once you start, you're never allowed to stop. That any kind of content gap makes you a failure. That walking away makes you a quitter. That is the cage. And the genuinely insane part of this, the bit that should make you laugh and swear in equal measure as it does I, is that you built it yourself from their marketing and then sentenced yourself to it. The door was never locked. You have been sat in an open cell doing someone else's PR for them. So let me give you the thing that they will never ever put into their online podcast guru course because you can't sell a monthly subscription to it. You only ever commit to the next episode. That's it. That's the whole bloody contract. Not a podcast, not a season, not the next 5 years of Sodding Tuesdays, just the next episode. And the second that is published, you're free again. You can walk. There's no finale, no teary apology in the show description, no explanation owed to a single living soul. I want you to ponder on that for a moment, because honestly, that is the complete truth, and it's the exact opposite of how my competitors have trained you to feel. And now here's the really crazy bit about this. It is properly backwards. Are you ready for this? The freedom to walk out whenever you like is the very thing that lets you stay. The people who know, really know, deep down in their gut, that they can quit tomorrow are the ones still going years later. It's the poor sods white-knuckling their upload schedule out of pure guilt who burn out and vanish somewhere around episode 9. It's like anything. A run you fancied going on is a nice afternoon. That same identical run, ordered by some bloke with a whistle, holding a clipboard, is a punishment. You're wearing the same damn trainers. You're running the same damn distance. But take the have to out, and the want to comes right back in. Which brings me to seasons. And yeah, I think seasons, for most indie shows, are one of the stupidest ideas going. And any guru that is so desperate for any cash from you that they encourage you to do seasons should be struck off from the podcast management register forever. They should hit some sort of creepy list. Some activists on TikTok should turn up on their doorstep and hound them forevermore and wait for the police to arrive. But my reason for saying that is not what you expect. And I want to be fair to you if you've done one. The thing is, publishing in seasons isn't strategy. It's a coping mechanism dressed up in a delivery method, in a format. It's a frightened person trying to schedule a bit of freedom they already own outright for nothing. It's bolting a fire escape onto a door that was never ever locked in the first place. And here's the real punchline on this. It doesn't even work, because instead of freeing you, it just kicks the dread down the road to, oh my god, am I actually going to come back for season 2? And that bit there, that breezy little back in the autumn, guys, is 9 times out of 10 precisely where the show wanders off and then dies in a ditch. Never heard from again. You never needed a season finale to be allowed to stop. You had that the whole time. Nobody was going to arrest you if there wasn't a next episode. Now, I'm not going to hand you a warm cup of lies because that's the guru move and it makes my skin crawl. The flip side of you can stop any time is that you might. Most shows do stop in the end. Yours may well do. And that has to be actually fine with you in your brain. Not brave face fine, genuinely fine. Or none of this works. Because if the only way you can keep going with your podcast is by convincing yourself that stopping would be some sort of tragedy, then you're actually not permitted, mate. You're just scared. Real permission has to include the version of you where one day you go, yeah, do you know what? I've done 8 years, I think I'm done. And allowing yourself a proper, dignified full stop. And that's not failure. That's not you giving up. That is you imposing an ending. Grown-ups are allowed those. Let's put this into a real-world analogy. Imagine you're invited to a party and you turn up at the party, and when you get there, the party host says, oh, okay, you're here now for the next 8 weeks. How would you feel at that party? Would you want to stay forever? No, you'd be ticking days off the calendar, watching the door, and yearning for the day that you can walk through it again. And that is literally the mentality that you're imposing yourself in your podcast production when you approach it as seasons. Versus the person that turns up at the party, knows they can leave at any time, makes a bunch of friends, has lots of fun, and then just walks out thinking, do you know what, that was such a great party. I can't wait to go back to that one again. That is it, that's the whole deal. And weirdly, it's the exact method that lets you begin in the first place. Anyway, speaking of people who just keep choosing to make the next one and sod the 5-year plan, after this short break, I'd love to play you a podcast trailer from one of our Podmastery Community members. We will be opening the doors to the public soon. If you'd like to join the founding members, go to podmastery.co/waitlist. There you go, someone who made one episode, then on the day, decided to make another. That's the entire game. No master plan, there's no blood oath. They're not trapped, they're not handcuffed to their show. They just want to keep making it. So here's something for you. It's not a checklist, it's not a framework, it's not a 7-part signature system. I would rather chew glass than give that to you. Here is what you need to do. You need to stop committing to a podcast. That's too big a thing to fathom. It isn't real, and it's the exact thing that's crushing your spirit. Commit to the next episode. Only ever the next one. And next time that you're laying in bed at stupid o'clock and that voice in your head pipes up, oh my God, do I have to do this forever? Stare at the ceiling and think to yourself, no, I only ever have to do exactly one more. That's the whole commitment. Can I make one more episode? And of course the answer is, you bloody can. So go and make it. And when it's out, you're free again. Properly, genuinely free. And you'll wander back in behind that microphone again, and you'll choose to make another. Not because some LinkedIn goon guilted you into it, because you actually wanted to create. You wanted to share. You wanted to spread what you're here to spread. Forever was never the contract. Just the next episode, as it feels right to you, was. And that's the only thing you ever have to say yes to. I hope that's removed the proverbial boot from the back of your neck a little bit. You never signed up for forever. Nobody did. You signed up for one more. And if you want a hand working out what your podcast's next episode should actually look like, that's a conversation I love having. Get yourself to podmastery.co and get your next podcasting challenge solved in a one-to-one with me. I'm Neil Velio, the Podmaster. Go and make your next episode, just the next one for now, and good luck with your continuing journey towards Podmastery. Podcasting.